Welcome back, everyone, to the Outer Worlds. You're here with Lefebvre, otherwise known as DraxxKraven, and we're going to go up and talk to the big cheese. Oh, this elevator music hurts me.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Interesting.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
She did warn you. You must be the town boss.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
Uniform, what are you talking about?
Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker?
I don't work for Space's Choice.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator. I told you the man to talk to about that.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Let me guess. You want me to do something for you before you'll help me.
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out.
Of course.
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned, what do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
Okay. I don't... You mean marauders? Marauders ain't people. No, I don't think these people would take kindly to losing their power.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
If you want me to solve your deserter problem, I charge by the head. Why?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
I mean, I've seen Edgewater. I don't blame those workers for walking out.
Neither do I. The fault was entirely mine. I pushed them too hard. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
How will I recognize her?
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
I mean, these workers must have left town for a reason. What if she doesn't want to come back?
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Right, but you'll only accept it if she joins your faction. You're not willing to entertain the idea of joining hers. Funny how that works. I imagine it would endanger your station if you were to join with them, just as much as it would endanger Adelaide's station if she were to join you. Funny that. Alright, I'll see what I can do.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
I'd appreciate the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Let's get going then. About to say, I don't mind having assistance. Where did I put my skills? Right, I got a fuck ton of charm, so my companions are gonna do a lot. They're gonna do a lot of the heavy lifting for me.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry.
No, that's
Can we talk?
fine. Yes, but please come. All right, fine. We're talking in the elevator.
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Of course not. If I wanted to deal with nuance, I wouldn't be this heavily armed. What's the other side of it?
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
How well did you know them? You worked with them? Friends? What?
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
Well, I can't blame for anyone for wanting to leave. This town's got its issues.
Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about.
I know the feeling.
Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
What do we need to talk to a vicar about?
About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And
Okay.
maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all.
Okay, it couldn't hurt.
Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Your dad seemed like a wise man, Parvati. Platforming puzzles. In my RPG, it's more likely than you think. Ooh, vending machines. I don't think you can Jesus Christ. I don't think you can... ooh. You have insufficient bits. This is locked. Can I purchase this restricted stock? There must be a way to do that. If you want to buy and sell things and you're not too keen on haggling, you can just use a fast ration pill. Provides flavorless sustenance only. If you want to sell or buy something real quick and you're not keen on haggling, you can go talk to a vending machine. Yoink. If it doesn't say it's stealing, I'm gonna pick it up. Ooh. Yeah, sure.
Got it. Inside voice.
It was worth the XP. Terminal access, company notification. From the office of Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator, symptoms of infection have now reached a critical mass. I've instructed our staff to transform the old domicile into a sick house. Plague is a reality of life on the frontier, and as spacers, we are expected to face up to reality. And the reality is that we do not carry enough medicine to treat all of you. Medical treatment is a privilege, not a right. We must strive every day to demonstrate our worthiness of that privilege. If you find yourself suffering the symptoms of incipient plague, the best thing that you can do for yourself and for your family is to don your jumpers and come to work. Work fortifies the spirit. Physical illness recapitulates spiritual weakness. Jesus Christ. That's just about the worst advice you could possibly give. Oh, Phyllis, you were one of the people who I was supposed to get grave fees from.
Worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy.
I'm guessing you're the foreman?
Foreman Granger. Mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you.
Your gravesite fees. I'm here to collect.
Shit. Silas still on about that? Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment.
These papers aren't signed in your name.
Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill.
Excuse me? I guess that's kind of you.
I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker.
Well, you said the guy shot himself.
Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's choice handguns aren't the most reliable.
I mean, it must be tough losing family.
Eugene wasn't family.
You said closest living relative. That's an awful thing to say about your closest living relative.
Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism.
Holy shit. What are they gonna do? Arrest his corpse?
When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's choice.
He was a person, not an asset.
Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
I'll let you get back to work then, I suppose. So yeah, this is the kind of world that we're dealing with. The kind of world where somebody kills themselves and it's oop. Those are too rare for me not to steal. We're dealing with the sort of world where somebody kills themselves and that's considered an act of corporate vandalism because you're company property. Messages. Owing to your hard work and positive attitude, I have sanctioned your access to medical treatment in the events of contagion. As you know, the company has not provided us with enough medicine to treat every worker. I wish I could treat every member of the Spaceless Choice family who fell ill to this plague, but I cannot. Medical privilege are strictly merit-based. Please do not under any circumstances distribute your ration of medication to any other worker. We're all in this together. We're all in this together, but nobody can share because corporate knows what's good for you. Bypass. Password, Tenderfoot. Theodore buried last night. Reed asked me not to report his death in our quarterlies. Sounds fair to me. Was asked to prepare a statement or something for the other workers. Been thinking about it. Don't know what to tell them. Don't end up like Theodore. Do your work, show up, wear a smile, and you'll get your medical privileges. It's a start? Jesus Christ. It's a hard, hard world. Yeah, looks like the cannery's having having a little trouble. As Parvati said, Miss Thompson, that was her name, right? They're putting something, they're canning something that isn't Saltuna.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got.
I don't know exactly how they're going to fulfill a quota.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Oh, for a second, I thought Max had like a bald spot. No, he's just platinum blonde.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well.
Holcomb.
How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
How do you know I'm an outsider?
Not to put too fine a point on it, but your choice of wardrobe is not precisely common hereabouts. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal. Pretty universal here. Except for Ms. Holcomb, who, for some reason, doesn't seem to have much to say to me. Isn't that right?
It's just... there's more to it all than numbers. Sorry.
I'm a bit surprised to hear you dismiss your parishioners so casually.
I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town.
Sounds like you're terrible at your job, Vicar. Isn't it your job to raise that?
Yes, but there are few who hear me in this miserable place. I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people here.
Well, so long as he's willing to blame himself. Did you just refer to this town as a miserable place?
Yes, and thank you for pointing it out. It is wrong of me to succumb to distress. This place could be so much more, and I will continue in my quest to make it so.
Well, Parvati wanted us spiritual advice. What do you offer?
They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No? How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands.
I was actually asking what your religion was all about.
The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in that grand plan.
Okay, what's the OSI?
The Order of Scientific Inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson.
Huh. Well, how do you talk to the Grand Architect? Prayer, meditation, what's up?
You don't talk to the Grand Architect. Once the universe was set in motion, it stepped back. It has no concern for us.
Okay. Pretty weak religion you got there. Follow a preordained plan. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Fun? It concerns much bigger things than fun. Things like deciphering the secrets of the universe to start.
And then?
We will eventually decode the plan and all its intricacies. Once we are able to deduce the properties of every particle in the universe and its trajectory, we will know everything.
This?
The future, the past, each person's place within the plan, all will be laid out before us, removing struggle and bringing peace. No one will ever need question their path again. Some even believe this ultimate knowledge will unlock mankind's true potential, and we will all become akin to grand architects ourselves, after a fashion.
This sounds like pretty much the opposite of how religion is supposed to work. Max, the point is you can't figure out what's going on. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. It just means that, like, the goal of, in my mind, the goal of religion isn't trying to answer these questions. It's reveling in the asking of them. This all seems pretty unlikely, too.
I would love to discuss the finer points of my religion with you. Oh, wait. No, I wouldn't. Seriously, though, to truly understand the metaphysics involved takes years of study and contemplation.
Well, Parvati wanted to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut off the power to Adelaide's deserters.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
What do you think of her group, Vicar?
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Depends on how well the leader can provide beyond the walls.
Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for.
So maybe you shouldn't fucking talk shit about it. Oh, anyway. What are you saying, Vicar?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
But the point is, you and Thompson keep saying that it's okay if the deserters join us, but neither of you are willing to do the opposite. Funny how that works. Right, just talk everybody into coming together. I'll keep that in mind.
If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
I've been outside. I'm not impressed. Why is that?
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Why? I assume you'll want to burn it once you get your hands on it?
What? No, I don't want to burn it. I would never. I mean, I just want to... Look, I have a very simple goal here. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
Interesting. Huh. He's lying about something, but it's not clear what. What's in this book?
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it.
All right, I'll look for the book.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
All right. Well, he's not going to burn it. What do they want with it?